I wouldn't say I was backward, but it wasn't sure where my identity was found. That I felt like I was lesser than, and I felt isolated. I'd go downstairs and play Legos by myself for like 10 hours, thinking that I don't belong. I did not feel worthy. There's something in my life that was incorrect. My first thoughts of suicide or self-harm probably came in later middle school years. The thoughts were that no one cared about me, or that I had no use, and that I was just a bug on a windshield. And I was born with Chiari malformation, which is a condition where your skull is kind of misshapen, and there's a hole in the back of it. And so I had about 15 seizures a day as a kid till about age 3. And then I had brain decompression surgery, and so that impacted my life, and dealt with ups and downs throughout my childhood. I think I'd always had like a anger inside of me. I'd get in fights, trying to fill a hole by acting on my anger. So that made it hard to find really where I fit. I was on my way to take my last 2 finals of the semester. I was driving to class, going through a 35, and get hit head-on by a Ford F-150. I drove a small white sedan, and it made it jump a mailbox. That caused me to have a broken femur, broken both bones in my arm. I had to have brain surgery because of it, and lots of physical therapy, occupational therapy. I dealt with a lot of thoughts of like, why couldn't he have just taken me? This was a great opportunity. And when I was about 20, I stuck a gun to my head, just praying for the courage to end my own life, not thinking things through properly. And there's times that I was top of my car at well over 100 miles per hour, just praying that, a tire would blow, something would happen, or I'd pray, that I could just turn the wheel and just be done with it. After having the car accident, I kind of started to get curious about God, more so than just knowing of him, but having a relationship with him. I moved up here and started looking for community and looking for ways to serve and others to grow in faith with me, but I still dealt with depression. And so it was this weird balance of, I'd get home and have these suicidal thoughts and think these terrible things about myself, but then I was still trying to go out and love those around me. In the past, I felt like everyone that I'd shared my mental struggles with felt like I was the crazy one. I was struggling one day and, shared with Camille Bayless that I was struggling really bad and that I needed help and I didn't know where to go, and she got me signed up with Freedom Counseling, and they really helped walk through that with me, and then it led to us figuring out it was maybe a chemical imbalance. Now on the medication, and that's helped me greatly. There's still days that are hard, but I don't think about ending my life anymore. Something changed in me on one aspect in my head, but it's definitely changed my heart too. It was a long journey, but it wouldn't have happened if I didn't have the guidance from those around me. I started to lead a college age group, then I had those guys to share with, 12 dudes that were able to support and love me through that and encourage me and uplift me. Caleb Hutchcraft, the head pastor of college age ministry, he's probably one of the top 3 men I respect most in my entire life. I think if I'd had that kind of encouragement when I was younger, that'd been great. I felt like growing up that other people were disappointed in me, and I realized that that's not how I'm seen, and that things that God says about me is that I'm loved, and that he cares about me, and he values me, and he wants to use me. And if God's saying these things about me, then why am I gonna let the things that I'm thinking in my head or those around me diminish that any? If we're here, God's gonna use us, and he can use us, and if this is a life that I'm gonna live, then it's not mine to take anymore. It's Christ, and I'm living for Christ, and he's made me new, and that puts more value on my life than anything this world ever could.